They last in school and they lasted way back. Long time. Call the March 5th board meeting to order. The record show all aldermen are present. Please stand for the invocation. James and Alderman Cox will lead us in the pledge.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Master, we come. Thank you for the opportunity to be in the Board of Aldermen meeting one more time, praying that the leadership of this city will seek your guidance in all decisions that are made. We pray for those who are here, those who have a desire to be here, and ask all in your darling Son, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a proclamation this evening.
Make a motion to accept the agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Motion by Ms. Jeffy.
Second.
Second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have a proclamation for the Duchess Club of Ocean Springs on their 75th anniversary, and we're going to let one of their own read the proclamation to them.
Ladies, if you could come step up. No, I'm not standing here.
So y'all want to stand in front of that TV and face me?
Face that way. Okay. Whereas the Duchess Club of Ocean Springs celebrates its 75th birthday on March 17, 2024, established by a group of enthusiastic ladies in 1949, the Duchess Club has been a constant in the Ocean Springs community. And whereas the mission of the organization is to make a difference in the lives of families and children and to positively impact students in the Ocean Springs School District. And whereas several generations of dedicated women have been honored to conduct the annual Doll and Toy campaign, an iconic operation to bring Christmas spirit and brighten the holidays of underprivileged children. And whereas the Duchess Club prides itself on lasting partnerships with many groups and agencies, supporting programs and services of other non-governmental organizations focused on improving the lives of others. Backpack Buddies, Special Olympics, Sue's House, high school senior scholarships for college and technical programs, summer camp scholarships, stocking pantries with snacks and supplies at Ocean Springs Middle School, Ocean Springs High School, and Alternative School. Funds for supplies and playground equipment for elementary schools. And whereas, through the years, the City of Ocean Springs has supported and encouraged the Duchess Club and its members to continue making a difference in the lives of its citizens. The members of the club look forward to celebrating its 75-year legacy and continuing the tradition of service for many years to come. And now, therefore, Kenny Holloway, Mayor of the City of Ocean Springs, does hereby proclaim March 17, 2024 as the Duchess Club of Ocean Springs Day.
Thank you.
Would you like to say something? Robin Noel is the president of the Duchess Club.
Hi, I'm Robin Noel, and I just want to thank you all for having us tonight, and also for everyone in the community who supports us, whether it's monetarily or volunteering or donating toys at Christmas. We couldn't do what we do without the help of the community. So thank you so much, and we are honored to receive this tonight. Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is agenda public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each, for a maximum of 30 minutes.
Jennifer, talk loud, maybe she should talk.
I have a big mouth.
Regarding issues listed on this agenda, please identify yourself and the agenda item before speaking.
I didn't understand.
Okay, it's agenda public comment. If you want to speak to the board about an agenda item, you can do so at this time. Just come to the podium, state your name and the agenda item that you are wanting to speak to. And you'll have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is James Lewis, 805 Cambridge Drive. The items I want to address the board is item number 5B that's on the old business, and the planning commission items R through B on the short-term rental. It was my understanding that when we met at the Civic Center, that item 5B would not be on the agenda tonight. What happened?
That was not stated at all. It was not stated that the item wouldn't be on the agenda tonight. We just said we weren't taking any action at the public hearing.
Okay, I respectfully disagree with what you just said, because that's what I heard, but we're not gonna get into a back and forth on that issue. Okay, let's move to the planning commission, RV. We had short-term rentals, now we seem just got out, we had 75 now, I don't know what we're up to on that issue.
115, Mr. James, in various parts of
Just
town.
gonna include these ones that,
I hadn't looked at what you're at, I just tried to answer your question.
Everything that's on the agenda should be included.
so the max right now is 115.
Is it 115 or 113? Is it 115?
15.
115.
Planning commission, items R through B on the short-term rental permits. They just answered the question. Thanks for their help.
Yes, thank you.
Ellen Paul, 1217 Sunset, I'm addressing the Irene. So, the construction of the proposed new marina on Five Beach is a foolish use of taxpayer dollars. It is well known that the Point Cadet boat slips are not in use most of the year. There are over 80 existing boat slips.
Excuse me a second, what agenda item is that?
I'm going to the marina, the structure, but I'm getting to it.
Yeah, well, what agenda item is what I'm.
5A and B, and I'll take another 15 seconds off the clock. There are 80 existing boat slips at Point Cadet. Why do we need more? Had you attended the DMR meeting last month, and by the way, this is not addressed to Ricky Alderman, who was at the DMR meeting last month, you would have heard over a dozen people speak against the construction of the proposed new marina. No one was for it. Likewise, the Jackson County Board of Supervisors voted unanimously against any financial support for the operations and maintenance of the new proposed marina. Why? Because after studying this venture, they deemed it financially infeasible. To be clear, the citizens of Ocean Springs want their beach to remain unspoiled and undeveloped. It is undisputed that the Ocean Springs beach is the best undeveloped beach on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The proposed location of the new marina is problematic. It has no shelter from Deer Island, so that the prevailing winds and tides will constantly refill the bowl-like design with sand that will require constant dredging to remove the sand. Dredging is expensive, and the cost of the dredging cannot be paid by the rentals derived from the boat slips. That means that we, the taxpayers, will bear the financial burden of the operation and maintenance of the proposed marina. This is one of the reasons why the Board of Supervisors voted no to this ridiculous venture. Likewise, there's no need for the construction of a new event center. Construction for the sake of construction is an ill-advised use of taxpayer dollars. As you know, the prior structure at that location was an eyesore. It was a constant target of graffiti, and we couldn't wait for it to be torn down. Why would this structure be any different? It too would become an eyesore. The construction of the proposed marina and event center are not for the benefit of the residents of Ocean Springs. This board seems more interested in appeasing future tourists rather than the citizens who live in this city. As for the URP, there is no transparency by the mayor and certain members of this board. That does not include Ricky, Wade, or Bobby. Why should the citizens of Ocean Springs trust a mayor and certain members of the board who would knowingly expose its citizens to deadly health risks? Why would you not wait for the MDEQ report that would confirm the existence of these health risks? The mayor's response to proceeding without a financial analysis on WLOX the other night, much less an MDEQ report, was, I quote, "It's a no-brainer." I agree with the mayor. It is a no-brainer. It is evident from the statement that you and certain members of this board don't care about the citizens of Ocean Springs and their exposure to deadly toxins and ill-advised financial ventures. What's the rush? Why not wait for the MDEQ report? Tell the citizens of Ocean Springs what your real agenda is. The Redevelopment Act was created decades ago to, this is a new subject, decades ago to alleviate the existence of slums. I'm not.
Yes,
You
you
took my time. Existence of slums in inner cities. We do not have slums in our great city. Instead, you are using this act to allow certain commercial developers to have access to private citizens' land in areas of high financial demand.
No, ma'am. You're not gonna control this board.
Short-term rentals and hotels in our city. I and other people like me love this city. We grew up here. We implore you to vote on the no on the new proposed marina, the event center, and the ill-advised use of the RDA. I have here for the record. This is the warranty deed. This is the warranty deed. I want to give it to you.
Please sit down, or you're gonna be escorted out.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna have some decorum in this room. We're not gonna be yelling and screaming. We're not gonna be out of order. We can have constructive criticism and constructive conversation, but we're not gonna be out of order in this room. You have 3 minutes to talk. When your 3 minutes are up, that's enough. That's enough.
Every time I speak.
I asked you to identify an item, and it took you 2 seconds to identify the item.
Well, you didn't give me the-
Okay? That's enough, okay? This is a boardroom. This is a public meeting. This is not a pep rally. This is a public meeting, and we're gonna act in a civil manner, okay?
Folks, let's act in a professional manner here. We're here trying to hear what you have to say. Act in a professional manner, please.
Okay, I have some comments on number 5. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Rebecca Alston on Pine Drive. You on 5, the Public Works area and Public Works, a lot of things have been thrown around, but in order for it to be feasible for all the people of the community, a group has redeveloped a proposal of having a botanical garden, sculpture garden, and walking path, which would be more diverse for the entire community. The botanical garden would provide a collection of wide-range plants, names, and information, herbs, and information on ecosystems and biodiversity. Also, it would bring about awareness to our natural environment. The sculpture garden would bring regional artists and sculptors to create permanent and temporary exhibitions within the garden. There could be a walking path that could be used for all ages, from youth to seniors, and would have an impact on their health. The joggers that run every day on Pine Drive could actually use that path. The traffic and density of the area would be much less in the residential neighborhood than what is proposed, and would create a multi-use park that brings together all ages. This would offer an aesthetic, educational, and health-based environment for the community, and may increase property value. This was finished today at 4:45 p.m., but there have already been people signing off on this, that they want to have something in that area that's for all ages, that creates environmental awareness, and decreases traffic intensity. So I'll give this to someone in the city and would like for it to be considered, because we don't want to have a sports arena without any type of environmental, without creating an environment that brings about awareness to where we live. And it also gives everyone an opportunity to participate.
Thank you, ma'am. You can leave that with Patty.
We'll get copies for all.
Okay.
Anyone else would like to speak to an agenda item?
Good evening. Dee Francis Wickman. I live on the corner of Porter and Ward,
short distance from Pine Drive. And I am glad that Rick attended the meeting in Biloxi. I'm commenting on 5A and B as well. Because had the rest of you bothered to attend, you would have heard a lot of Ocean Springs residents who are not in favor of a marina. And personally, as someone who generally walks the dog downtown and sees a lot of joggers and walkers, I can't understand why, if you've got $600,000, why don't we have so many potholes and uneven places in the sidewalk and in the streets? Fix some of the problems that we've got instead of building something new. If we need another basketball court, you know, once upon a time, this was the library. Right over there next door was the police station, which it really isn't anymore, and a court. Why not make what was the court area into a basketball thing where kids could play basketball? We are spending so much time coming to these meetings, and we'll be told, oh, we're going to talk about this at such and such a time. And then we get an email saying, oh no, you know what, the city's going to talk about it before the date they said they were going to talk about it. If y'all would stick to your timeline and make it easier on all of us. I'm watching the clock, and don't worry. The thing is, the Ocean Springs residents don't want you spending a lot of money on things like conference centers. I was happy to see that you took the rental cottages off. My suggestion would be that instead of approving all of the short-term rentals that you do, has anybody ever checked with the people that already have short-term rental applications to see how much of the time they stay rented? Or checked with any of the hotels to see what their occupancy rate is? Because we don't need to make it tougher on people that have already put money and stuff at risk if we don't have to. I thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I'd appreciate you a lot more if you actually stuck to what you said you was going to do and fix the streets and the sidewalks. Thank you.
If anyone else would like to speak to an agenda item?
I'm Karen Stennis, 399 McGinnis. I'm also against the marina. I do have a boat, but that's not where I would want to have to pull in and put a boat in if I had to. But what I want to say is that the parking lot where the marina on the corner of Jackson and Front Beach, the warranty deed that was donated to the DMR, in the warranty deed, it says it's to remain in its natural state, not to be developed for any commercial use in property. Might want to look at that. Thanks.
So I'm Michael Lon, I'm here to speak on item 5 as well, on the lot in the marina. I'm against this marina. I think it's a bad location, a bad project. Location's very exposed. Dredging, maintenance, repairs is going to be a major ongoing expense for taxpayers. The county, you've already heard, has declined to participate in further funding of the project because they believe it's economically unfeasible. A waiting list for the Ocean Springs Harbor should not be used to justify a new marina. In Ocean Springs, there will always be a waiting list at the Ocean Springs Harbor. It's picturesque. It's protected from winds. It's natural. And you have curbside access for your boat. A new marina at Front Beach won't significantly shorten the waiting list at Ocean Springs. In fact, there are plenty of available slips at other locations. A significant number of the people who renew their applications every year are prospective boat owners. I know that because I'm one of them. Plan to get a 40-foot trawler, and I'd like to put it at Ocean Springs Marina. I would never put it in that exposed location on Front Beach. Millions have been spent on an oyster clutch project just south of the proposed marina site. Just a few years ago, we were talking about investing in a living shoreline. These and similar investments that will have positive impacts on water quality and aquaculture is what we should be pursuing. Construction, operation, and ongoing dredging for a Front Beach Marina is incompatible with improving water quality on our beach, which is one of the last remaining swimming beaches on the Gulf Coast that sits in a non-commercial residential setting. That's what people love about it. That's why you see people with young families, they swim there. Water quality is a big concern. I really believe, Mayor, that this marina is an opportunistic play to connect this noisy alcohol-fueled entertainment district with the Front Beach. The city plans to put golf cart rentals, beach vendors, food trucks, unspecified ancillary uses to connect the marina to the entertainment district via Lower Jackson and Washington Avenues. These avenues are gateways to our historic churches and our neighborhoods. 2 historic homes sit directly behind the proposed 80-slip marina. These and other homes are at risk of vessels that will be left in the marina and displaced by the largest hurricane surges that hit the continental United States. That's right here on our Gulf Coast, and you all know this because of the geography of our coastal frontage in Mississippi. This marina will do nothing to improve safety and quality of life for residents. There is no reasonable justification for granting the many variances to the existing law to proceed with this project and put a parking lot at that nature preserve. I ask that my comments be made a part of the public record for the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to speak to the agenda item?
I'm not sure I can say anything on this, but on number 7, the consent agenda, can I say something on that?
Sure.
Okay. My name is Deborah Parker.
Something specific on the consent agenda?
Oh, yeah, I'm
The
sorry.
letter.
C, 7C. Okay, I see here that you're doing a special event permit, or there's an application for Mosaic parking lot. Is that the Mosaic bar in town? Is that what the Mosaics is? I don't.
It's a Mosaic
Okay.
restaurant, yes.
All right, my question is really more, it's more of a question than a comment. Are y'all going to adhere to the specifics of his permit, which says, I've never heard of a Lost Fest, but that kind of says it all to me, behind the bar, their parking lot. I know the last time they had a little permit, it seemed to be lost and paraded through our church parking lot. Now, I'm speaking on behalf of the church, so let me get that clear. I'm speaking on behalf of my own thoughts. Is Mosaic parking lot, this Lost Fest, is it gonna stay there, or are they going to get lost and wander around the streets? Because the last little permit y'all did from Mosaics to here turned out a little party in my church parking lot, and it was very disrespectful. So I'm just asking that question. So about 2
The
minutes
permit
left.
states that they will be in that parking lot, which is a privately owned parking lot. The Lost Fest is the...
That was a privately owned parking lot too.
That's a brewery, a brew pub there.
So my second question is, in general, when people go off script of their permit, what is the fine, chief, or, I mean, if they don't adhere to the permit application, is there any repercussions? I know we can't go back in the past, but if I say I've got a permit down Washington and I decide to go down Porter,
I mean, this is the 3rd year I think they're having it, and I've not had any complaints about them leaving their parking lot for
Okay.
what they were doing.
well, I'm kind of referring to the little Mardi Gras party in my church parking lot that was supposed to come straight down Belandi and turn around and go back. So, and I read the permit, I sent off for the public records, I got the permit information, and it specifically said from Mosaic's parking lot to City Hall on Belandi and return, and that was not the case. That's why when I saw this again, and the name of this festival was Lost Fest, that kind of says they could get lost.
I don't think that was Mosaics though, I think that was Oscar.
It wasn't, but that's where it met.
I
That's
think
where
it started there, but I
It
think that
started
was.
there and they fueled the fire there,
Right.
okay? I'm not blaming it on Mosaics, but when I read Lost Fest at Mosaics, it just kind of jogged my memory
They
about
usually,
what
I
happened,
mean,
so.
the last 3 years they've had it, they've been shut down early. I hadn't had any complaints, and they, pretty much stayed in their parking lot, so.
Okay, I just wanted to find out. And what's the answer on, what's the fine or the repercussions when someone goes against what they applied for in a permit? Anything?
What the infraction is.
And if not, then why do we have an application for a permit? I'm just curious. If you do a permit, then you can go do what you want, then what's the point of a permit?
That's, you're out of town.
I think it depends on
Well,
the
I know what kind
infraction.
does, but nobody answers the question.
We'll take that under advisement. Anyone else who would like to speak to the board?
My name's Mark Garrett, I live on the ward. I started coming to these meetings a long time ago.
Sorry,
I started coming to these meetings a long time ago.
I know, but I need an item number.
What item
Five A and B, both of them, the whole thing. When I came, I just come back from Key West 2018. I came in here, I told them at the best time, I said, please don't let us down and come in. And for some reason we're trying hard to do exactly that. When I came here in 2018, there was barely anybody in here. And now, I love that there's so many people in here, which shows y'all that people aren't happy, that people are concerned, they care. If you try to drive down Government Street, almost any time of the day, but especially like mid-afternoon, once you pass like the juke joint, you're trying to go to the juke joint to Patalo's, you don't know how long it's gonna take you. You put a 300-room hotel right there, it'd be impossible. And then I know they've mentioned that, that there wouldn't be any eminent domain, that they're not looking at anything like that. Y'all would never do anything like that. But my church right here in Washington, they eminent domain us twice to expand the street right there, twice. Y'all are okay, and y'all about to okay 5 new short-term rentals. That's dishonest. I mean, it's unfair that you got people investing money from all over America to buy these short-term rentals. They're already barely being occupied, and then we're gonna slap up a 300-room hotel right in the middle, which people are gonna be staying over there. And then when they can't occupy them, when they can't sell those rooms, they're gonna start renting them out really cheap. And then we're gonna get some real interesting people down here. On the beach, I mean, the people donated that land, and now we're gonna put a parking lot, we're gonna pay Paradise and put up a parking lot. And who's gonna donate? I would love to donate some land to this town one day. I'd love to donate something to this town one day. But if I donate some beautiful land right on the beach, and they're gonna put some ugly structure, nobody's gonna donate again. We got the only beautiful beach left. Everywhere else, they're building all over them. People come from all over the place to enjoy our beach. There's so many other things. There's so many other things that this town has. We won best small town in America. And immediately we're trying to go up in category. We're trying to become the biggest city in the next year. So please, y'all, there's a lot of people here that's going to be on TV. Folks are watching. Please act, vote accordingly, because people are going to remember, and some of y'all are going to be watching these meetings with me in a year or two. People are going to remember who voted who way.
Hi, my name is Patricia Jorak from Creel, live at 517 Rayburn, and I am talking about old business A and B. I have over 20 years experience in the hospitality business, and I'm going to tell you, if I cannot fill up a 499-room hotel and you lower those rates to $59, excuse me for saying this, but I'm honest, you attract crystal crack and meth. That's what you get in. You get in the Dollar General bags for their luggage. You have problems with them trying to make drugs. or put things behind an air-conditioned vent to hide things from the housekeeping and the staff that are illegal, and then you have the EPA coming in to close down that floor of your hotel. So when you do something like this, and you're thinking of a 300-room hotel, you need to remember, if you can't occupy it a lot of the times, this goes for the casino hotels, this goes for one that is not a casino, just entertainment with an arcade. Sometimes they only have 11 people staying in that hotel in the wintertime. You're going to also have to think about the staffing there. What happens is, you can't get enough staffing for these casino hotels, so you're only cleaning the rooms that are what we call do-outs, the ones that are checking out that day, because you can't clean the stay-over hotels. That makes your hotels run down, and then you can't rent them out for the full premium price that you would like to. Okay? As far as Jackson Avenue, looking down there from Porter Avenue to the front beach, you have a beautiful tree-lined street. Gorgeous, you can see the water. It looks beautiful, and you want to go and construct something else. That has several city documents with the little information of history, little plaques all around the city, and that is one of them. I understand it is a beautiful area. We don't need to surround it with something that is not going to be pretty. And if during Hurricane Katrina, we had debris pushed up from the front beach right there all the way to Cleveland, a couple of the houses on Cleveland Avenue in Calhoun flood, what do you think is going to happen with that marina? Where do you think it's going to land? But all up on that street and knocking down whatever houses are left there. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else who'd like to speak? This will be the last speaker. We've got 3.5 minutes left.
My name's Tom Aronson. I live at 107 White Boulevard. Addressing old business, A and B, whatever she just said, I agree 100%. You got a beautiful beach out there, and you're gonna put something on that's gonna take away, not add to the beauty of Ocean Springs. On item B, adopting the resolution approving and adopting urban renewal plan. We have an EPA meeting on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Civic Center. Is that correct? Oh,
It said this community center.
Community center, correct. Is there some urgency that our aldermen can't attend that meeting, that need to vote on that this evening, that we're not aware of? Is there something that's making this so important that it has to be on the agenda tonight? What would it take to wait to hear what the EPA has to say on Saturday? Do you have special information or something? That is a concern for everybody here.
I'm going to address that at some point.
I will sit down and allow you to do it now. Thank you, Your Honor.
That concludes agenda public comment. We're going to move on to old business. First item on the agenda is authorized rejection of previous award and approve award for the public access portion of the Front Beach Public Event Center and Marina Gomesa and Mississippi DMR. Anderson Construction of Mississippi LLC.
What did you say?
Sorry. This is the item 5A, the authorization to accept the previous award and approve the award for the public access portion of the Front Beach Event Center and Marina. Sarah?
Okay, so this item, we are asking to reject the previous award and approve for the portion of the project and to go to the second lowest bidder. After internal conversation with legal and all parties, this is the route that we have been told we need to go. So I'm just asking for y'all's permission, authorization.
And just to be clear, this is strictly on the property on the north side of the beach drive.
Yes.
For the pervious rocks to be put in for drainage and parking, correct?
Yeah, for public access.
Council, is that what we do, council? Or do we rebid?
Absolutely. You have two options. You could either rebid or what we have on the agenda tonight. Obviously, we've had discussions about the previous bid. The legal term would be it was unresponsive. So either the board can rebid entirely or go with the other bid as suggested on the agenda.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
I'm not clear on what, we're not clear on what this is.
This contract was awarded a couple board meetings ago, and there were some questions about the material that was required on the contract or on the estimate, the bid package. So there was, it was the size of the rock they're using to put on this property. And there was
Okay, this is for a project that was awarded a couple meetings ago. The bidder was non-responsive.
The parking lot.
It is the restoration and public access at Jackson Front Beach. Stop.
Hey,
This is an
please.
agenda item. If you have further questions, you can contact me, but this is not the time, or I'll meet you after the meeting to explain. Okay?
Okay. Is there a motion?
I have sent several emails and have not responded.
I'll make the motion to authorize the rejection of the previous award on the
And go with.
project.
Second.
Well, it's two separate motions.
What is the motion? Y'all gotta speak up.
You'll have to be quiet so you can hear.
You want to state that again?
I'll make a motion to authorize rejection of the previous award on the parking lot project.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Motion by Ms. Gyampi, second by Ms. Pena. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Any good?
Aye.
Don't
Any
pay any
opposed?
attention to us.
Motion carries. Okay, you want to make a motion, somebody make a motion on awarding to the second lowest bidder.
Make motion.
Motion by Ms. Burgess,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Impey. Any further discussion?
I'm not real clear.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the adopt a resolution approving the adopting of the Urban Renewal Plan 2024 and adopt the disposition plan resolution.
Mayor, if you don't mind, I would like to make a motion that we table this issue until after the MDEQ meeting. Also, House Bill 564 passed the House and has been sent over to the Senate to be voted on, and I'd like to get that vote in before we move forward with this. If you don't mind, I'd like to make a motion we table
We
this.
got a motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Wade. Any further discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
We've had 5 different drawings going back to day one of this urban renewal. The first one had a conference center on it. The second one had a conference center and a hotel on it. That's been 2. Then we come and you had an office building on it. Then we come to cottages or townhomes. And on Friday at around 5:30, I look on Facebook and there's something been put on that has been changed for the 5th time. Now, hold on just a minute, Jennifer. For the 5th time, my question is, who's paying for all these renderings that's drawing coming up and the board don't know nothing about them? Not only does the board not know anything about them, the alderman of the ward that it's going in don't know anything about them. Yes. I got home that night at 8 o'clock. At 1:30, Raven sent me an email saying that this is a new rendering. But the question is, who's paying for it And why can't we get together on the board and have a meeting and put out a drawing where everybody could see it and we'll be on the same page? We're not drawing for straws.
We've had 3 different renderings, not 5. We've had 3 different renderings. We are taking input from the residents, taking input from the citizens, and that's where this is coming about. The latest, all we heard from people was that they wanted public access, they wanted recreation, they wanted green space. They did not want a conference center. So that's what we did. Took the conference center off, put public recreation on the entire project. There's nothing but recreation on the entire piece of property that Public Works owns. So, other than some parking. So, that's.
The 3, you're right.
Yeah.
But there was 2 before.
We had,
so that makes a total of 5.
we had, we paid a firm $6,000 to do the renderings, and they have not charged us any more from that. And that was
From 1 to 5 or 10.
That's right, that's right. So, I mean, it's all paid for. That was approved on the front end, way back, several months ago.
Okay, and the next thing I want to say is, this is in Ward 3. I'd like to get together and have a work session, which was already asked before. We haven't received anything. The next thing is, you have Ward 1 that have anything to do with Ward 3. You got Ward 2 that butts up to the west, right here of it. He's got a little bit of say in it. You got Ward 4 that's on the east that don't have anything to do with it. And you got Ward 5 and Ward 6 that are out to the east. They don't have anything to do with Ward 3. And normally you would follow suit in what the wishes of the alderman of the ward.
Kevin, I asked you, what do you think about this plan? And you said it looks good. That's what you told me in my office.
I said
Kevin, what do you think about this?
I said it looks good, but I said we're not going into the home building business, and we're not going into the real estate business.
And we're not.
And you changed it.
Yeah.
But who says that's set in stone? None of these people out here see.
It is a vision for the city, okay? And all this urban renewal plan says is that these parcels are prime for redevelopment. And there is environmental issues. Let me read my statement, okay? Well, anyway, let's do
Hold on,
it.
let me finish this real quick. Hold on just a minute, let me finish this. So anyway, you don't really need a redevelopment and an RDA to do one piece of property when you can go hire a contractor with a set of plans to build a building.
This RDA will save the city millions of dollars on this project. It will save the city millions of dollars on this project.
I have to disagree with that.
I don't. I mean, I can explain it to you.
That's all the more reason to table it and wait till after that meeting.
Well, we got a motion and a second. So, we'll do a roll call. Jennifer?
Nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion fails, 3 to 4. Okay, now what I want to get to. We've been working on this urban renewal plan for several months now. We have gone through the advertising, the planning commission.
Excuse me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Listen,
Yes, sir.
hear you.
I know, but y'all keep talking.
Okay, I'll try to speak up. I'll try to speak up.
We get feedback.
Okay. We've been working on this urban renewal plan for several months now. We've gone through public advertising, the planning commission, the public hearing, and now it's on the agenda to vote. We've heard the concerns of the residents, and we've tailored this plan to address the vast majority of these concerns. Under the property acquisition and disposition statement, we have clearly stated that the city will take the lead and not the RDA if the need arises. As for the Go Green No Conference Center on the Public Works site, we have gone completely with parks and recreation facilities. There's no question we need more fields and courts. There is a commitment in this plan that if the Ryan Youth Center is replaced, it will still bear the name of the family. We are all aware of the environmental issues pertaining to this property. The plan clearly states that no construction will take place until those environmental issues are satisfied through MDEQ. who has stated that they will closely monitor the development of this site. The plan states in writing and not just lip service to the problem and has been lingering on for 20 years. MDEQ needs to hear it, LICA needs to hear it, the developer needs to be aware of it, and the citizens of Ocean Springs need to feel confident that we are finally serious about clearing up this issue. That is the reason for having this in place before the meeting on Saturday, is to make sure we sit at the table, it's not paying lip service to it, it's in writing that we are serious about cleaning this property up. And I think that means more than just showing up and saying, hey, read your report, and then they say, well, it's your problem, you walk away with it. No, it's not our problem, it's their problem, it's the LICA problem, and it's gonna get cleared up. We are doing more about this environmental issue with the last couple of years than they have done in 20 years on that piece of property. 20 years, it's been sitting there. So if we don't put any pressure on anybody, it's gonna sit there another 20 years. So that's why it's important. When we get at the table, we have a written document that says we are serious about cleaning this property up. So, there you go.
Mayor, with all due respect, I don't need an urban renewal plan to let everybody know I'm serious about cleaning this property up. So,
Well, the urban renewal plan,
It's in writing.
when Jimmy Gross was here, the consultant, when the consultant was here who helped us with this plan, he said this piece of property is a poster child for urban renewal. He says it's perfect. So, that's all I got.
What urban renewal does is allow us to control that piece of property without urban renewal, which is eminent domain attached to it. Without urban renewal, the developer can put whatever they want on that piece of property. Urban renewal allows us.
Hey, hold on. Let Ken finish.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. I thought
Hazardous waste removal.
urban renewal gives us control over the property. Okay.
So, as it sits right now, somebody can build that hotel tomorrow. With the approval of the MDEQ, that it's permitted for a hotel. It's permitted. So,
It allows us to control that piece of property through eminent domain. And that is the big stick that we have. Without that stick, we can't do anything. They could put a beer joint there, a strip joint, anything they want to there. Urban renewal gives us the right to control it. We all need to understand that.
By including them in this map, we are maximizing our influence and we're maximizing our control over a property that without it, we would not have any. In addition to that, this urban renewal plan puts in writing that we are going to address the environmental issues on that map before any development is done. In addition, having an urban renewal map with an RDA, and any senator and any House representative will tell you this, we are maximizing the potential for funding. Okay? So there's a couple of ways to approach this, but the most productive and efficient way to approach this is by implementing an urban renewal plan with an RDA at the helm. Because you maximize the potential for funding, you've identified the area of concern, and that the environmental issues everything will be predicated on getting those addressed, and then it maximizes our influence and our control over that private development, without which we would not have any.
hold on. Is there?
The eminent domain language, okay, what would we eminent domain? We're not going to eminent domain our own property, okay?
Where the conference center.
The private property.
Yes.
The eminent domain it's a cloud that hangs over the whole thing. We don't want to eminent domain that property. Why would we want to? We want this private developer to do the right thing.
Because we don't want.
We want this private developer to do the right thing and to do it within the scope of what the city and the citizens want. Now, you take eminent domain off the table. I know there are a lot of people that like to think worst case scenario. Okay? If this developer, for whatever reason, decides not to walk the line, the last thing you want to do is take eminent domain away from us. Because then we can eminent domain the property and make sure that it gets done correctly. That's, it's
Has there been any cost analysis done on what it might take to clean the property and prepare it?
$2.8 million.
Sir?
$2.8 million.
And what would be, so the resource for that would come from?
It would be coming from a grant,
Grants.
a Go Mesa grant
Has the
probably applies.
EPA explained that to you ahead of time? Because that was my question.
Well, that was a conversation we had with Senator Wiggins in his office at the Capitol.
Will he be here on
He
Saturday?
will be here on Saturday, yes.
Let's wait for Saturday.
It doesn't matter.
It may come in more than that.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Then we're on the hook.
All we're saying, no, we're not on the hook for
If
it.
they come back with a checklist of compliance items, whether it be 3 or 30, makes no difference because this urban renewal plan clearly states that we will address all the compliance checkbox, regardless. So whatever they come up with, whether it be 3 items or 30 items, they are going to get addressed. We have that in writing. And as the mayor has already said, we're coming to the table with a signed resolution that says we're serious. So when we get done with that meeting, typically how that goes is, okay, well, you guys get your ducks in a row and we'll figure this out and we'll work it out. No, ducks are in a row. We're ready to go. Here's the signed
Okay.
resolution.
Is there a motion or not?
Well, I don't think all the community agrees with this fence.
Well,
I
we're
mean,
not,
people up and down Pine Drive, they don't want it. They want something that all ages.
well, we're giving people on Pine Drive what they want in recreation and green space. We cannot take the hotel property away. We cannot take that away. It's a private piece of property. It's not owned by, the city. We have to play that piece of property out and see how it works out.
Well, as long as they're flexible on what they put there.
That's why we're trying to control what they're putting there. And by the way, there was never a 300-room hotel proposal. I don't know where that came from.
Traffic density in that area, and why can't they just something? People agreed that they wanted, as of today, that they wanted something that would accommodate all ages. They don't, you know.
Well, there is something that accommodates all
No,
ages.
it isn't. It's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
sports.
Okay.
Let's play around.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Mayor, I make the motion, the resolution approving and adopting the Urban Renewal Plan 2024 and adopting disposition plan resolution.
Do we need to do that separately?
Let's take them separate. Let's take urban renewal plan first.
All right.
Well, I'll make the
Is there a
motion.
second?
Urban Renewal Plan first.
Second. Okay, got a motion by Mr. Papania, second by Mr. Impey. I need a roll call.
Aye.
Nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Okay, the motion passes. Next item is to adopt the disposition plan resolution.
Okay, I make the motion that we adopt a disposition plan resolution.
Got a motion by Mr. Papania. Second by Mr. Impey. Roll call.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay. Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Motion passes 4-3. Okay, moving on to new business.
Mayor, before we move on to new business, I'd like to follow this up with a motion. With this urban renewal plan, we are allowed to manage this ourselves. I'd like to make a motion that we temporarily dissolve the RDA until the vote, until this vote is taken at the state capitol as to whether the verbiage will be adopted or not, and then we can follow up and renew the RDA. But at this time, I'd like to make a temporary motion to dissolve the RDA.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Wade.
And act as managers of the
All
board.
in favor, or just give me a roll call on this.
Nay.
Aye.
Aye. Nay.
Nay.
Aye. Okay. Moving on to new business. Adopt the 2024 Water System Emergency Response Plan. Sarah?
So this is a plan we are required to have when we get our annual inspection, which is coming up at the end of March. It's just an updated information of all contacts, and we need your approval of the plan and it executed to move forward.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 Water System Emergency Response Plan.
Motion by Mr. Eby,
Second.
second by Ms. Papania. Need a roll call.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Anybody have anything pulled from the consent agenda?
Yes. Item H, please.
Item
7H.
Okay. Item H. Okay, is anything else?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item H, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Eby, second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item H.
I just have a big question. You know, these started as good once a month concerts, and now, Mayor, you know, we started talking about we were gonna raise the funds to pay for these concerts. This contract with Dwayne Dopsey is $3,500 for one Friday night concert. I'd just like to know, Patty, is this gonna continue once a month? Do we have sponsorships for this, or what's going on? These just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Raven's handling it more than me, Bobby. There was like $10,000 for all 6 concerts.
Right.
We were getting some people before. I don't know if there's anybody this time that's helping paying for this one or not. She's handling that one.
I'm waiting to hear back from Mitchell. Mitchell wants to sponsor, but it's in the budget that was given, and so we're starting back up Friday at the Fort in April. So it hasn't been every month, and so with his being a little higher, just because he's more known and more of our community likes the Zydeco feel, I have lesser bands to balance out the budget.
But we are actively recruiting sponsors for these concerts, because I hate to think we're gonna keep shelling out $3,500 a concert.
We won't have $3,500 every concert.
Well, and, you know, we're trying to find people that don't do business with the city, Bobby. We're not asking people that do, you know, so that's made it a little awkward.
My understanding too is that this has kind of gotten legs, and so there are more people who are wanting to be considered for sponsorships because it's getting more and more visibility.
Not only that, and then more vendors want to be down there, so we charge them the vendor fee, so, sponsorships.
As long as we recruit sponsorships and we don't just make this a budget item, no, I do not. This does not need to be a item in the budget for that amount every concert, and I'm sorry, I do enjoy them, I go down there, nice, but we need to actively recruit sponsors to help pay for this.
I think that's the most expensive one. And he's by far the most popular one we have too.
All right, make a motion to go ahead and approve item H.
Second. Motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Alderman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, does anyone have anything to pull from the docket of claims?
Make a motion to approve the docket of claims. All expenditures are appropriate and authorized by law, and spread summary on the minutes.
Motion by Mr. Alderman. Second. Mr. Papania, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody have any questions upon the monthly budget report?
Make a motion that we accept the monthly budget report.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alderman, second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anyone have any questions on the budget amendments? Is there a motion to authorize the budget amendments?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Burgess. Second. Second by Ms. Papania. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is general public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum of 30 minutes. Only 2 speakers will be allowed per side of each issue. Please identify yourself before speaking.
All right, I will. Ellen Hall, 1217 Sunset. So I gave the deed to you guys, the warranty deed. My understanding, that is the deed for the property that you were just talking about putting rocks on? correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That deed specifically says it cannot be taken out of its natural state forever, for perpetuity. And any citizen can enforce that through the courts. If you guys are planning on putting rocks on that tomorrow, there'll be an injunction tomorrow. I need to know that because I'm not gonna waste my time and money on an injunction.
I'll advise the board not to speak on it. She's threatening injunctions.
No, I'm asking what you're doing, because how will I know? Because it says in that warranty deed, any citizen of Mississippi can enforce that warranty deed. And we want to know, are you planning on putting something on that property? Because it says it will stay in its natural state for perpetuity. It was donated by the late Tom Reynolds, who just passed away on Friday, who wanted that to be for its natural state for the citizens of Ocean Springs.
I don't think that was a donation.
It wasn't,
No.
read the deed, Maddie.
I think there was some money transferred for
The
that.
deed says $1
Did she just call you
for
buddy?
perpetuity for the citizens of Mississippi.
Yeah, she's made her intention very clear with an injunction. I'd say to stay away from this.
I need to know whether or not you're going to move forward with it. I need to know that. I have a right as a
Again, ma'am, the
citizen.
board's not gonna comment. If you're free to talk for 140, but after that, you're gonna have to sit down, please.
I don't need to file an injunction if you're not doing anything with it. I'm asking, are you planning on putting something on it? This lady over here said I could see her afterwards and she would let me know whether or not they planned on putting rocks on it.
I'll no longer be talking to you.
Whoa. You do that. You cannot.
What a great
You
city.
can't.
Don't you just love
You
it?
can't threaten litigation. You can't threaten.
I'm not saying litigation, I'm saying the deed says that we have a right to enforce what the deed says. We want to know, are you planning on going on our land? This is our land in perpetuity.
Again, ma'am, the board's not gonna comment on it, so if you
Then how do we find out?
How do we find out what your intentions are? Do I have to wait for you guys to have a bulldozer over there with rocks and have a lawyer go do that? I can't do that. I'm not licensed in Mississippi. But I need to know that. We need to know that. Every person in here has the right to enforce that. This is your land. And it says clearly, you just said that, lady with the blue shirt, that your intent is to award it to someone else, not the people that you were just canceling. This is such a great city. So you guys are just doing a marvelous job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak?
My name is Haven Lyons, and I'm 1217 Iberville Drive, and respectfully, I just would like to ask if we're putting so much faith in the RDA, have the RDA members been identified? Have they committed to be a member of the redevelopment authority privately? Are we able to know who they are? I've been directed to the city website several times, and from what I understand, the list of the people on the city website has not been updated. So are we able to know that information?
Yes, Haven. On November the 1st, 2022, the regular meeting, it was approved. The board, the resolution was approved adopting the urban renewal plan. And then the motion to appoint the urban renewal board was unanimously approved on that same board meeting. So all that information is public record.
In the public record that's on the city website, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, that is current and that is correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, if you look at the minutes.
Okay. And, okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. I did. Okay.
James Lewis, 805 Cambridge Drive. I have sit here and my blood is boiling right now because I'm trying to understand. I prayed earlier and I hope that you all would take God's guidance. First of all, some of you that are sitting in front of me right now will not be on this board come election time.
Amen.
Because you have totally disrespected and disregarded the citizens of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And that is simply a travesty of justice. One of the key things is that when you took office, you were supposed to be representing the people.
Thank you.
It seems as if you're representing money.
Yes, sir.
The Bible tells, yes ma'am, I see you shaking your head over there, and you broke your eyes, and that's okay. That's fine. But the key thing is this, God has his eyes on all of you. And whatever decision that you make, Because really and truly, you are the stewards of Ocean Spring, Mississippi, and God has his eyes on all of you. I need you to search your hearts, seek God's guidance, and make the correct decision. The Bible says the love of money is the root to all evil. And that's what it seems is boiled down to, the love of money. We can't move forward. I grew up on 809 Pershing Avenue. Now this is a big monstrosity that's sitting up there right across the street, and you can't even see the sun when it comes up. That's a travesty. We have a sweet town. My family moved here in 1956. And it breaks my heart to see what we have come to here. What Ocean Springs is looking like. Because it doesn't look like what Ocean Springs used to be. That sweet little town. I remember there was only 2 red lights. MLK was to Vermont Avenue and Washington Avenue. There was only 2 red lights on Highway 90 there. And it was a 2-lane road. There wasn't no 4-lane road. Yes, we have progress, but we've also digressed. And you need to search your heart, go down on your knees and pray to God that God will guide you and make the correct decisions that needs to be made as far as Ocean Spring, Mississippi is not concerned. Not lying in nobody's pockets, not being nobody's best friend. Thank you.
Anybody else would like to address the board? Okay, moving on to Mayor and Alderman's Forum, Alderman Burgess.
I'm good, thank you.
Ricky.
I got a couple of things. I'd like everybody to keep Tom Reynolds Sr. in your prayers. He served, I think he served 2 terms on? 2 terms. And he recently passed away this week. Stephen, about the Inner Harbor Park, do we have somebody on a regular basis going out there and blowing off those courts?
Yeah, we're still blowing it off, but we're doing all the bathrooms and everything else.
When are we going to when are they going to step aside from that? Because talking to Troy saying that they basically want like the city of Ocean Springs to.
Yeah, we still got a few questions about it. We went through it today.
Okay.
We'll do whatever we have to in short term to get it all figured out.
Okay. And last thing is Wade and Darrow, if you can give me an update on where we are with that house on Ward. You know, if we're getting a survey or what are we doing?
The owner of the house was in the office yesterday and picked up the paperwork of the requirements of what he needs to do. And the survey, I'm assuming, hopefully he's getting a survey, but that is what he's expected to do.
Okay.
He is, I'm gonna do it, I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm doing it, I'm gonna save that little old house, it's such a perfect, beautiful part of this great little town. That way, for future generations, they'll be able to come by and say, that's what it used to look like.
13 or so trees they cut down.
Well, we're not trying to not let anybody use it. We just want to make sure that the survey and the setbacks was that.
I knew it was my house and I was here, so I would just step up. I wasn't trying to do nothing.
Oh no, I get it, but I just wanted an update because some of the neighbors, they called me about it, and I just was trying to figure out where we are on it.
Yeah, I was here. I was here yesterday. I got a fellow coming out to do a little survey. I'm gonna do whatever, still get step by step exactly.
I hope it works out for you.
I want it. I tell people, I say, you gotta get a neighbor. You gotta have a neighbor that you leave a house in the yard. I got the best little neighbor in the whole world. She's top notch. But I don't want to. I don't want to have had it over there already. Had they not ran it, it should have been over there at least anyway. So yeah, I'm the same way. I went ahead and paid already. So I mean, I already paid for it to be there, but it's not. But they're dealing with some issues, and then of course we had other little things. What they asked for. So now I'm going through that. But I'm gonna follow through the whole little steps, and he said it should be out there in the next few days, and then I'll finish out the process.
Okay. That's it for me.
Yeah.
How, Hickory and Bechtel, we got anything on that ditch?
Not really. We went and looked at it, but they finished the driveways and it's
drainage on that development right there next to it. So Steve can get a measurement on it, so about adding some pipe and some rock.
Okay, thanks.
Good. So two things, community meeting with DEQ Saturday night, March 9th at 1 o'clock at the community center. And then also the Easter egg hunt at the Little Children's Park is from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ricky had mentioned Tom Reynolds' services, and they are Saturday visitation from 10 to 12, and then the service afterwards. So,
That's that okay?
I don't know, I didn't see where it
No,
was.
St. Paul's right here on Porter.
I need a motion to go into closed session to discuss the need for executive session.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wade. Second by Mr. Cox, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The board is in closed session.
After what I just sent you, you don't need a vote. He's gonna pay twice as much as South Mississippi business. Well, no, that's great. Oh.
Yeah. I feel like that show the other night, remember? Yeah. All right. Motion made by Mike Impey, seconded by Jennifer Burgess to stay in executive session to discuss personnel in the planning department, in the police department, and litigation for Cary Cove.